Hello everyone and welcome to an unboxing of Don't Look Back by Blacksite Studios, as it says on the bottom of the box there. Also on a convenient sticker that they included in the order, and a little bloodied knife sticker that says Death to Seth on it, which I believe is one of the characters. Don't Look Back, a tabletop horror experience by Matthew Burns, is a tabletop cooperative based game which aims to kind of replicate the feel of the 80s, early 90s horror movies, you know, the big named ones and then also more obscure ones. And today we're going to take a look at the base box, the base starter box, and then also one of the expansions as well, just to show you what those are like. If you're in the EU, UK, you can't currently get this via any third-party retailers, nor can you order from them directly. Thankfully, one of my moderators from my Twitch channel is not far from where these guys are based, in Texas, so they very kindly let me send an order to them, and then I paid for shipping to get it sent to me. So that's how I was able to get a hold of this, and together we're going to look at what's in here, although there's a little sneak peek. You get a bunch of survivors, a mixture of adults and teens, a customizable killer, and the necessary cardboard and whatnot to play through the scenarios included in the book. So yeah, let's crack this open once I grab some scissors. Alright, let's open this up and take a look. Pull it out as is. Everything in a oneer. There we go. That is indeed everything. I'll put that over there. We'll keep the name in there. So here we go. We have all the dice required to play the game. A D6, which I don't even think is used for much. And then what we got? A D20, a D10, and a D12. It looks like. And that's all you need to play. Some light tokens. 2 of. Which is another mechanic in the game. Lights on, lights off. It's a shame you couldn't just like spin it so the top of it was lit up or not, because then it'd be a lot easier if you had miniatures sitting on it. But I like that they have a lights on, light off mechanic, because flickering lights and whatnot are definitely a thing in classic horror movies. And then we have the assortment of cardboard, which I'll open in a second, and then the actual rules itself. I think this is a second printing. Oh, it's a 5th printing actually. 5th printing down there. Don't Look Back has been a labour of love. Okay, I thought that was a blurb for the game, but no, it's a note from the creator. There we go. Yeah, there's the blurb I was looking for. Don't Look Back is a cooperative storytelling adventure set in the early 90s. I'd also say late 80s to be honest, but that's based on what I've seen. Over the course of the game, you will be taking on the role of locals who have unknowingly been pulled into the most terrifying night of their lives. As you make your way through the plot, you will have to try and work together in order to survive the killer. And the killer is customizable based on the rules of the scenario, or you can just completely randomize, I believe. The rule of cinema. Is this the just have fun rule? I like variations of that rule, honestly. When unsure about how 2 rules interact with each other or to resolve a situation, talk it out with other players, create the outcome that improves the story experience of your plot. That's the best way to do it, in my opinion. So we're not going to go into the minutiae of the rules, but I can at least rather give you a quick look. I like the art. That's how your characters work, and then we're on to, I think it comes with 6 base scenarios. That's 5 base scenarios. And then special rules. Again, I really like the art. And then the specifics of how a phase of the game works out, because it's there's a killer phase, fright phase, survivor phase, well, character phase is what they call it, but survivors. You have to roll for jump scares, you have to roll for stuff you're finding, and then there's quick actions and long actions. I think you can do 2 quick actions in a turn, or 1 long, 1 quick. I vaguely have looked over the rules, so don't take that as verbatim. But yeah, relatively short. How many pages was that? It was 27 pages plus a glossary. And then we have the models and the cardboard. I'll open these up. Alright, so we have presumably wound tokens. This is their measuring tool, which is like a cleaver. And not sure what that is. It's within it, but it will pop out. And I think I don't know if it's in an expansion or just something to release separately, but you can actually get a butcher knife measuring tool as well, which is pretty fun. On the other side of them, that would be fright tokens, because your characters don't just die from taking wounds, and some killers don't even focus on doing physical damage. They do mental damage in the form of scaring the characters to death. So Yeah, kind of like how Batman has like willpower, stun damage, and then endurance blood damage. This has fright and wounds. And on this one, I think these are fright tokens, along with a few more damage ones. And then there's also the, they're called supporting characters, I believe, who exist purely to show up, distract the killer, and then die. They sell a box of miniature versions of these, but in the base box you're just getting icons to use instead. So there's that, and then we have the miniatures themselves, which are presented in a lovely old VHS tape style aesthetic, right down to the worn edges, like artificially worn edges right here. The characters, don't look back. 6 resin heroes, multi-part killer, some bases, visage and reference cards. Oh, it's been a while since I've opened one of these. So there is just the standard bases, don't need to look at them, they're what you would expect. This is the multi-part killer, the sprue you get for him. You can have like the hood option, you can have a very Shatner-esque looking mask option, hockey mask, and a couple of weapons you can be wielding: an axe, sledgehammer, a knife, someone's head, I think. Yeah, okay, and oh, it's got a smiley face on the hood. A little bit of cleanup required, definitely. A little bit of flash there, but not too much. Don't look back cards, exhibition mode. So these are just either reference cards or cards that detail the various killer modus operandi. Is there not meant to be miniatures in here? Are they in there as well? Oh, no, you know what? They're in there as well. It's not just the bases. It's a weird way to package the miniatures. I can understand the bases being packed like this, but not the minis. Let's just crack this open to make sure. Yep, there they are. They are baggied as well. There they are. So that's our assortment of characters. I hope you can see about clearly. There's like a park ranger, a bully, a cheerleader, a nerd, and miscellaneous. We'll see in a second. So that was in there with the bases. And then we have their character cards and whatnot, which we can have a look at. Go. Oops, I hit the camera a little bit. So we have Max the Abs. He's classed as a teen. He's got a move distance of 4, combat awareness, fright, luck. He's got some certain skills. He starts with an item. That's where you track terror and wounds. If you hit 10 terror, you die instantly. If you hit that number of wounds, you also die instantly. Oh, and it has a lore on the back. Seth Newton, he is the nerd. He moves 3 inches. He's also a teen. He also has a skill called Well Actually, which just fits him to a T. Oh, and then we have some, hang on, we'll do the killer types last. Where's the other characters? There they are. Another teen, Holden Gibson. Tough as nails, and he has a shotgun. Alice Grace. Is that a reference to Alice from Nightmare on Elm Street Part 5, I want to say? Maybe. I can't remember if she was a cheerleader. Ranger Sandy, so that's an adult. And she's got a gun, a service revolver. Denise, also a teen. She has Daddy's phone to call for help, I guess. And then we're on to the visage types. So you can roll for these, or they can be set. So there's familiars, which are stalking ones that might remind you of certain people who exist. Mutilated ones, and they act in different ways. Ethereal, and then, nope, nothing on the back. Oh yeah, there is some on the back actually, on these two, but not the third one. Disjointed killers. Mundane killers, who could be anyone, that's why like they actually do a milkman miniature. And yeah, nothing on the back of that one. But that's your killers. So that's everything you get in the base box with enough to play through the scenarios that are in the book. I'll open up the cards real quick. So here's the cards: exhibition mode, indie mode, slasher mode. Oh, and then MO, yeah, some modus operandi cards for the specific killers, and certain traits as well. So this is things they do to you, and I guess they're just there for reminders. Again, I think there's set ones for the missions, but you can also just like roll for them if you want. Okay, that's neat. So that's everything in the base box now. But they do a number of expansions, and I did get one that appealed, so we're going to take a look at that now once I clean this out of the way. So here is the expansion that I picked up. I picked up Sideshow Slaughter, which again is presented as if it's an old VHS tape, complete with the green horror sticker. And I got this one just because I like the look of the miniature that comes with it. It's got a very strong similarity to Tim Curry's Pennywise, although I would say this box is a lot more like Killer Clowns from Outer Space than it, but still. So we can take a look at the back there as well. There's the miniature, although you do get more than just him. Come one, come all for a taste of the mall, a new killer expansion. I'm turning this slightly so I can read it at the same time. Northwood hasn't seen a carnival in over 2 decades. Something happened all those years ago, but the people in the suburbs are still reluctant to talk about it. Recently, some younger locals have been talking about hearing the sounds and seeing the lights of a small carnival off of Route 72, just north of Sealy Line Crossing. Others say it's just a figment of their imagination. So the killer is called Booger the Banished, but I'm sure there's some other things you can call him as well. So let's just open this. So it should be very similar to the case we got in the base box there. So sure enough, we have a bubble wrapped resin miniature. We have a bunch of bases because he does come with some other stuff here. So we should be able to see that well enough through the bag, I hope. Maybe not. But you can definitely, if you're familiar with Tim Curry's Pennywise, see the similarities just in the body alone with how with the big 3 buttons and whatnot. He comes with a bunch of balloons, he's holding a giant mallet, and he's standing on a sort of scenic base that you put on the standard base as well. And I presume, because I don't know, that the balloons, in fact you get quite a few of them, are tied to his mechanics for his mission. So you get the mini itself, and then you get expansion rules. This is for this is if you have a specific Carnival MDF kit they produced, which you don't need, you can work around. And then it comes with 2 missions as well, one called Figment, Inspiration, Investigate and Banish, so that's getting rid of the clown. Let's see, number of turns 14. It has some special rules that you follow. Bonk 3000, I guess that's the name of his hammer. And the other one is Step Right Up, Complete and Banish. So that's a different way of playing. One of them might require the terrain to fully work, but I'm sure you could substitute your own as long as it fits the theme and the basics of the special rules. The game itself also appeals just with that, because it's kind of similar to other games we played on the channel, where you can shape things to a narrative if it makes the experience better. They're not so rigid with the rules that you must do everything precisely. If something fits a narrative better, run with it. Or fits the scenery you have available, the table, the miniatures, whatever. You can fit it to your taste as long as you're following the basics and you're still trying to win against the AI controlled killer before he murderizes you all. See, he also has his set MO, so these are the cards you would take for him. But again, you could just use the miniature and make randomize his stats. That's the other thing they build. You can completely roguelike your killer if you want to. So yeah, that's always there's not much to the expansion, but you don't need much more than that. A couple of missions to play with them and a mini that you can use, and they also do just packs of miniatures that don't have stats or anything like that, and they're for use with variants of the missions that came in the core box, where you do have like a milkman miniature who's like your mundane killer, or they have a let's just say that they're playing fast and loose with similarities to characters that may or may not have existed in the past for some of them. Like there's one that looks very similar to Lady Dimitrescu from Resident Evil 8, for instance, if you wanted her to be your killer matching the MO cards that come with the box. So I do hope we'll be seeing some of this being played into the new year, and if it's popular enough I'll look into getting some more content for it, because there's some more killers I'm interested in that were out of stock, and hopefully getting back into it. I think they're trying to get EU shipping back open at some point. I don't think they have any plans to do it for the UK, unfortunately, but I don't blame them, considering the VAT and whatnot that they're forced to pay, which is not good. But if you know someone in America or elsewhere once they open it up a bit more, consider taking a look, and we'll hopefully see this on the channel relatively soon. So that's going to do it for this unboxing of Don't Look Back. They also have a website you can go check out for yourself, see what expansions are available for it. Blacksite Studios, I think it's just a .com, although I don't remember offhand for sure. I'll try and remember and link it in the description. Thank you for watching, and ta-ta for now.